Kia ora. Just coming at you with another bit of a help, sorting out you guys' GPUs, getting you a little bit better frames in City, whether or not you're falling to the map or looks like shit, or your PC's only like shit. Just a couple little tips and tricks to kind of help you suss that out. So first off, what we want to do is delete our temp data. So what we do is we come down to our search button, run, which will bring you up to this window here. What you want to do is percentage, temp percentage, or one word like that. Open that motherfucker up, copy all that, Control A, delete it or do for current items, skip. That's basically your PC's like cache in a way. I've seen people have up to like 30 gigabytes worth of shit in there. So yeah, it can definitely help a lot. So clear that out. I normally do mine about once a fortnight. I did mine recently, which is why there wasn't a lot in there. But yeah. Next of, if you're running the video, right click your home screen, the video control panel. Now the best thing you can do for FiveM, and I recommend this really highly, is your max frame rate. Now there's a lot of people that run 150 frames a city. As cool as it is, your eyes can't see it anyway. At the moment, I don't have a very good card in. I'm still running NVE, just capped it at 60 frames and everything's mint. A good benchmark to kind of have it around is around 60 to 80 frames. If your GPU is on the lower end, make sure you cap it to 60. If you've got, you know, a lot better card, then you might want to check it up to about 80. But anything higher than that is just, to be brutally honest, stupid. But yeah, there's a few settings in here. If you know anything about them, have a look. But doesn't really play a massive impact for what we're trying to do today. We'll just go into FiveM and I'll show you guys a couple good graphic settings there that I recommend running, and show you what will kind of be good for each different card. Alright, so I'm currently in City. As you can see up in the top left, capped at 60 frames. GPU percentage is quite high. It isn't a flash card, it's only a 3050 in there at the moment. But this is running NVE, which is quite taxing, so bear that in mind. This could also be a bit of a graphic setup as well in a way if you wanted to run NVE in City. But yeah, so first off, what we have in Sky City is /FPS. You do this by pressing T/FPS. Enter that. Enable all three features and drag your detailed finesse all the way to the right and make sure you click save. Now what that'll do is it essentially creates in terms of kind of boundary. You won't notice any changes realistically. What it kind of does is it drops down the textures out of a certain radius of you, which helps a lot with your performance. So next off, what we'll do is we'll go into your graphic settings. Now this is just a kind of borderline. This is kind of what I run. Anyone that has issues, I kind of set them up as similar, and what we've noticed is it helps pretty much 90% of people that we do it with. So obviously you want DirectX 11 if it's there. Enable that. Now the next one is your render resolution. I always run 1920 by 1080. If you do have a flash as fuck card, you can turn it up, but 1920 1080 1080p is kind of realistically kind of what you want. Your monitor FXAA, I run it on. MSAA, you can run it at 4, but you can run it at 2 times. If you do have a better card, you can crank it right up. NVIDIA TXAA, I run on. VSync, I run on. Now population density and population variety, I've got them turned all the way off. The server has its own, so you don't need those on at all. Distance scaling I have all the way to the right, less one click pretty much. Now the biggest issue we see with FiveM and people losing texture is actually the extended texture budget. What I recommend is, I always recommended it being about 3/4 to 2/3 of the way up. Sometimes there's a little bit of fine tuning you need to do to find the right settings for your GPU. But 99% of the time you're looking at about 3/4 to 2/3 of the way all the way up. and you should never have those issues. Now, myself only running a 3050 with MVE, I've got pretty much everything realistically kind of just normal. Now I run my texture quality at normal. If you have a sub-average card, I'd run everything pretty much around the normal margin. As you get up, you can turn this up. You can run it high. You can see your VRAM goes right up. You can run it high. You can run it very high, or whatever you want to do. Just really depends on your card. Keep an eye on that bar. And everything else, I'm realistically running on high just to run with MVE. It is a 3050. It's not a flash card. It's not exactly a piece of shit card. There's nothing to really rave about. So yeah, just realistically kind of depending on your GPU. I personally like to set my VRAM about 50% of the way, especially if I'm running NVE. If I'm not running NVE, I can turn it up a little bit and you notice a little bit better performance. So these are basically my other settings. I got my shadow qualities high, quality high, reflection high. I got reflection MSAA turned off. Yeah, it's just kind of something I've played around with and got a little bit better performance. But yeah, so that's pretty much the majority of it. Advanced graphics. So you can see you got your resolution yet again. You can drop that down if need be. You can drop it down to 1080 if you're still having issues. 1440 is like a decent margin though. But yeah, so it's not a flash setup. It does look good. I've never had issues with bottlenecking or falling under the map. But yeah, so if you ever get stuck or you ever need a little bit more insight, or you want a hand setting it up per your GPU, feel free to ever make a ticket in Sky City's Discord, and I'm more than willing to jump in a call and kind of help you out to get it running right. But that's pretty much the bulk of it. Yeah, so hopefully it helped out somewhat. Make sure you clear your temp data every few weeks. Chat.